May the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be always acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength, our rock, and our Redeemer. Amen. Today is Pentecost, as we know, the day that the Holy Spirit came upon the apostles and the entire church. And today we are here to celebrate that Spirit. It's only in recent years that I have begun to appreciate the value of many of the gifts that the Holy Spirit gives us. And I want to talk about two that I have discovered now, in my opinion, are two of the most valuable things that we have ever received from God. These gifts are closely linked to each other. We use both of them every day, but I do not feel that we realize just how much we use them, and we don't appreciate them as much as maybe we should. Since I started to notice these things about the world around me, I have tried to make myself more and more able to take advantage of them, and they have begun to shape my character. The first thing that I have noticed is just how much we crave learning and discovery. You can see it in the face of every child that learns something that they have never known before. When I was really young, learning new things was like this, and it was all I cared about. I was constantly trying to find new information about octopuses, chemistry, space, biblical history in Sunday school, math, Pokemon, and reading books like the Warrior series, the Harry Potter series, and a series of unfortunate events. I was always on the search for something new, and all of these things are full of new ideas and twists that I loved to learn about. And as my knowledge expanded, my abilities to think philosophically grew. And the amount of information about these subjects that I didn't know decreased. I began to realize just how much we need to be constantly learning new things. In many ways, the ideas that I am describing are like sparks that we imagine ideas being. After a short time, they burn out. They spread to other people, and they ignite anything that they touch. And the reason that we celebrate this day is that the whole God made the apostles able to share their sparks that they received from the Holy Spirit with people of all languages and nations so that Christianity could spread. We received this Spirit wholly to be able to spread the ideas, the good news. The best way to use this gift by far is to explore and to seek out new worlds and new civilizations and boldly go where no person has gone before. And then share what we learn with the people around us. We should be discoverers for the amazement of ourselves and our peers because we have been built by our Creator to discover. I think that I first started noticing about this world when I was watching my favorite TV series of all time, Babylon 5. At one point, a character, though who he isn't human, explains this urge better than anyone I have ever seen. After an encounter with something that no person understands in spite of the races having warp drive technology, he says that it makes him happy that there is something in the universe that we haven't explained away yet. Because it is in our nature to learn and not just to know. But more recently than this, I have discovered that there is a single gift that has enabled everything that we know to exist. Because the ability to create new ideas out of nowhere allows us to make new inventions, write or tell amazing stories, and try experiments that find exactly what we want them to find. We originally received this gift because it was necessary to serve a changing world. With the world constantly changing, we needed to be able to discover new ways to fulfill our Christian duties. But it is also one of the greatest, if not the greatest, talent that we have received. Many activities that I have done in my teenage years have shown me the value of this gift in every scenario. But none is more relatable to us than the game we play in Epic called Bible Pictionary. You should be able to guess what's involved. We don't bother competing. We just draw cards from the deck and choose some biblical topic, and in huge air quotes, we draw it. It's a silly game, but it really shows just how amazing the gift to create a spark is. It takes creativity to draw things with markers that other people can understand and what you're trying to communicate, and it also takes creativity to guess what people are drawing. The best part of the game, however, is when someone comes up with a guess that creatively describes the object in question, and we love it. It's activities like this that made me realize just how valuable our creativity is to us, and why I've become confident that it is the greatest gift that God has given us. Because there is no point to the ideas that we come up with, and yet we still do it because the knowledge that we are creating is worth spreading. I noticed this about all the activities that I mentioned that have made me come to this conclusion. All of them were completely contrived, and the world has not been veritably made a better place by them, and yet they include the only video format that can keep a person laughing their head off for an hour, the series of books that I most love discussing and rereading, and the most ridiculous conversations ever recorded. This is one of the things that Jesus is referring to when he says that out of the believer's heart shall come flowing streams of living water. He's referring to, among other things, the creativity and faith that he has bestowed upon us with the Holy Spirit. You never know who is going to appreciate your ideas. It takes a simple spark to create the most amazing innovations of all time. Since I have begun to notice the presence of these two gifts in the world around me, I have begun to try to act on them. I never leave any piece of creativity without sucking all of the marrow out of it. If I hear someone say something that needs to be said, I write it down. I make sure that everyone else hears it, and if I have something to add of my own, I add it. We must also never forget the reason that we have received this gift and learn how to help the needy adapt to an ever-changing world as well as share our beautiful ideas with them. Because every idea is a gift from God, that he has created an entire world of people to share it with.